everything's fine. It's all over. Ah! Hello, adventure. So, life, it can be a roller coaster. There is going to be ups and downs, and there are going to be pits, and there are going to be valleys, and there are going to be high points, and it's going to be scary and thrilling at some time. So I talked about finding your voice, and finding your voice is super important. But the other thing that's really important is finding your rhythm. Now, some people, they're really obsessed with schedules and all the different checklists, and you know what? All that's going to do is ultimately burn you out. You're trying to control something like life that is not always controllable. But when you find your rhythm, then it's amazing because you become adaptable. And so finding your rhythm is really important. It's really important for several different reasons. I'll give you a few examples. When it comes to me, what are parts of the day that I have a lot of energy? And so where are the days that I'm times of the day that I'm really focused? When it comes to your rhythm, not all of us were created the same way, and that's a wonderful thing. So what I say my schedule, that's not gonna work exactly for you. So you have to find out what is the rhythm that works for you. So when it comes to rhythm, I have to look at where are the times where I have natural energy, where are the times that I'm most inspired. So for me, late at night, I come up with a lot of ideas. Early in the morning, I know that I'm really focused. And so I don't work on things that require a lot of focus in the evening, and I'm not gonna try to do a ton of brainstorming early in the morning. I find out where my natural rhythm is. And also I harness that energy. So I know that, hey, these are the things that I have to do every morning. If I do this every morning, over time I win. Those 1% changes, I'm reminded myself every morning. I have things that are phrases written on my mirror that remind me why I'm doing what I'm doing. I have different apps that I open up every morning at just about the same time. And some of them are inspiring, some of them are reminders. I make sure that at the end of the evening, I do what Ben Franklin used to write in his journal every night. And what did he learn from that day? So I read about that and I thought, hey, I'm gonna do that. So my rhythm is every evening, I Ben Franklin my day. I go through and how did that day go? What did I learn? All those things are really important. At the end of the day, I look through my pictures and I try to organize them as I'm going. And I'm saying, hey, I'm gonna take 10, 15 minutes because I could sit and watch TV or I could watch my adventure. Which one would you rather do? So that's part of my rhythm, and I find my rhythm. Now, the other thing is that not all days are the same. There's twists and turns all along the way. I have what I call different profiles. So, for example, I will have a travel profile. So I know when I'm traveling, there's certain things that I'm not gonna try to do. When I am at the office or I'm working from, that's a different profile. And so my rhythm is different if I'm traveling all day. I know that if I'm on an adventure like today, I have some meetings here and I'm doing some projects. Well, I know that I'm not going to be available for a lot of calls. I know that I'm not going to be answering a lot of emails. And my team knows that. Hey, he's on his adventure profile. You probably won't be able to get a hold of him. But then during an office, man, if I have to go, I'm sitting and I'm working from my library or something, man, my profile is, hey man, stack those calls, stack those meetings. That profile is get all that done. When I'm traveling, I manage my energy. So one of the things I know is I've gotten to know my rhythm. So when I'm away from my kids, I get back home to my kids. I'm thinking, oh man, let's go out to eat. Let's do this. I want to just cram full of adventure. You know what? It's always, I make everybody miserable because I just traveled all day. You know what I needed? I needed a rest. So I changed my rhythm. So instead of me getting home when they're there, I get home a little bit before and I can decompress. I call it entering the atmosphere. And so I just know I got to enter the atmosphere and then I can be more thoughtful. I have a rhythm that if I am driving in the car, I will stop whatever phone call I'm on. I stop it before I get to my neighborhood because I don't want to take that call in. You see, you're developing your rhythm, you're developing those habits, and you got to find out what works for you. The other principle that I use that I love is finding your default. You need to know where your reset button is. You see, too many times people get burned out, and I don't think it's because they work too hard. They just don't know where default is. So for me, I can be gone for 2 days. I can be on adventure. I could be editing a project. I could be meeting, conspiring, and being creative. I could be speaking at a conference. And then what happens for you is you do these projects, you're launching your business, you're launching your product, your service, whatever that is. And then like the next day, you're like, I don't know what to do. But that's because you don't know where default is. So you are tired because mentally, it's not that you're tired, it's that I don't know where default is. So as part of your rhythm, just knowing where default is, knowing, hey, this is where I start my day, this is my default position, that's huge. So having your default, knowing your rhythm, what I'm gonna do actually is in adventure support, I'm gonna post my sample rhythm. Now again, that is not for you to copy my recipe. That's for you to maybe look at my ingredients to see how I do some of those things. But you know what? I wanna hear about your recipe. I wanna hear what you do. I wanna hear about your rhythm, the things that you do, your little productivity hacks and your tips and tricks. And I want you to go to the Facebook page and leave that because I want to learn from you, because you never arrive. You're always refining, you're always doing that because things change. So I want you to develop a rhythm, and I want you to have all of those things because you know what? Life does have its ups and downs. It can be a roller coaster, and they're not scary. They're a lot of fun. It's a big adventure, and it begins right now.